growing up, I tell you what, it ain't easy. And if you're anything like me, books, movies, and TV shows were a big part of that growing up. I always loved a good fairy tale. Gal wears a pretty dress, there's usually some magic involved, and it ends with a smooch from Prince Charming. And then comes the inevitable part of getting older. You realize that more often than not, that's not how things usually go. But this doesn't mean that you have to give up on fairy tales altogether. Believe it or not, there are some movies and series that take a more realistic approach to our favorite traditional stories. So put on your tough person tiara and watch this now. Based on the Brothers Grimm fairy tale, The Handless Maiden, Sacred Lies is the story of Minnow Bly, a teen who spent 12 years of her life in a secluded cult, but one day mysteriously returns to civilization, with both of her hands missing. To make matters worse, she ends up getting into some serious trouble and is sent to juvie. While there, Minnow forms an unlikely bond with Angel, her cellmate, who shows her the ropes and sticks by her side. The lessons learned in Sacred Lies are that the world can be a scary and dangerous place, but Minnow is a survivor, and throughout the Facebook Watch series shows us what she's really made of. Like I said, I love a good fairy tale, but I can admit, as we're used to seeing them, they can be rather simplistic. Another Brothers Grimm fairy tale, Cinderella, has traditionally been a simple story about a girl who is bullied by her wicked family and through a bit of magic happens to be at the right place at the right time to meet her Prince Charming. But that's not the case with Ever After, a Cinderella story, starring Drew Barrymore and Angelica Houston. Reimagined as a tale of independence, Ever After sees Barrymore's Danielle as the driver of her own story and sees Dougray Scott's Prince Henry evolve in order to win her love. The traditional stepsisters have defined personalities which are actually differentiated from one another. Angelica Houston is showing some kind of nuance to her take on the wicked stepmother, and Ever After sees Leonardo da Vinci take on the role of fairy godmother. Finally, we have a fairy tale that is completely original, The Princess Bride. It seems like the cult favorite only becomes more popular as years go by, and Rob Reiner's 80s classic feels timeless. Still, in a movie that has
fencing, fighting, torture, revenge, giants, monsters, chases, escapes, true love, miracles.
The Princess Bride also holds an important lesson to be learned. Sometimes the bad guys win, good people die, and life isn't always fair. But at the end of the story, if you can look at it all, the good parts and the bad stuff, with a sense of humor, that's the best you can do. Okay, life isn't always a fairy tale, and while a happy ending isn't always guaranteed, that doesn't mean there isn't magic to be found in growing up. If you liked these picks, subscribe to Fandom's YouTube channel. And if you want to find out what happened to Minnow Bly, catch new episodes of Sacred Lies Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, only on Facebook Watch. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Clarke Wolfe, and as a wise man once said,
have fun storming the castle.